Hello everybody, this is BScat100 and welcome back to some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. In the previous episode we had, we had cross-examined Phineas Filch, gaining ourselves a second witness of Tenmataro. However, Blackwell is not fucking around anymore. He broke out of his shackles, and now we must ask Jinxie what exactly happened in that chamber, specifically about the existence or non-existence of Tenmataro in the chamber when she first opened up the door. So, with that, let's not waste any more time. If you'd like to see, leave a like down below, comment if you have anything to say, subscribe to me if you haven't already, click that bell to notify of everything that I do when I do it, and share with your friends so they can join in on this investigation. Now then, I believe our next witness is Miss Jinxie Tenma. I made it QB Manor. I believe we can now proceed now if the witness is ready, that is. Nurarion, leader of the 100 demons. He really does exist. Wow, that is one well-polished tray. Witness will show his face while in court, or her testimony will be inadmissible. What is it, my child? Be gone, Nurarion, leader of the 100 demons. You think I'm a yokai? Well, I was once known as the judicial monster of sorts. The beast of the bar, the demon of due process, if you will. My charm has no effect. The demon of due process? Not sure I can see that one. Now, you little scamp. Yes? I trust you know why you're here. Bags. Bags? Oh, that tricksy tanuki. Try the noodle stand, and go enjoy a big bowl of tanuki noodles while you're at it. Everyone's a comedian. No, I meant your bags. The ones under your eyes. You must have trouble sleeping. Here, this charm will keep Kiori away. Azukiori, the old hand that washes Azuki beans. The only thing need washing will be your father's neck before I take his head clean off. Azukiori often keeps people up at night with the noise he makes washing beans. But if you stick this charm on your forehead, you won't hear him anymore. Is that so? Well, thank you. Looks like Prosecutor Blackwell got more than he bargained for. They're bad enough alone, but together these two are just plain creepy. Testimony, if you will, Miss Tenma. Specifically whether or not you saw Tenmataro when you discovered the crime scene. What Jinxie saw. Did I see Tenmataro in the Fox Chamber? Well, when I opened the door, I saw, yes, now I remember. Yokai, right there in that room. So there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Lots and lots of them. Wait, more than one yokai? Did Tenmataro happen to be among them? I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is the room was swimming in yokai. Kasha, Norikabe, Sato, Taisho, they were all there! Well, this is an unexpected turn of events. We've gone from no yokai to a flood of them. This is ludicrous. You would have this court listen to this delusional little scamp's testimony. God. Your Honor, I believe her memory is simply clouded by fear. But a quick therapy session should ease her mind. With the court's permission, of course. What a fabulous idea! Please proceed, Miss Sykes. You sure you know what you're doing, Athena? She's obviously not herself. The trauma of discovering that crime scene, and fear of testifying have her dazed and confused. A regular ball of confusion. but my analytical psychology-based approach should be able to help. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell? Shall we let Miss Sykes proceed? Huh. It makes no difference to me. Do as you will, but I doubt we shall get any viable testimony. She'd be better served by bearing witness to the sword skills I forged in a distant land. Huh. I'll show you. Time for widget. Did I see Tempentaro in the Fox Chamber? Well, when I opened the door, I saw... Yes, now I remember. Yokai right there in that room. Found something. Huh, looks like an out-of-control emotion. Athena, what exactly are we looking at here? Oh, this? This is one of Widget's functions. Right here you can see images and emotions extracted from the witness's voice. Oh, you mean that little thing could do all this? Pretty cool, huh? And here I thought it was just some kid's toy. Unfortunately, all I'm getting is an overflow error right now. See how sad is brightly lit at the bottom left? She's under an uncontrollable amount of distress, which is making masking her other emotions. It seems the sheer terror she experienced has made her a confused mess. So all those yokai she thinks she saw are a product... So those yokai she thinks she saw are a product of rampant emotions. Yes, that's right. Her fear has instilled her hallucinations and false memories. She's seeing normal everyday objects as monsters in her mind. It's a form of schizophrenic hallucinations brought on by emotional trauma. And the trauma in Jinxie's case is fear. So she was, and still is, seeing ordinary objects as yokai. We'll have to find the root cause of her extreme fear before I can treat it. Now let's see. Apollo, can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? She seems particularly terrified of that one. Start by tapping the probe on the bottom screen. Next, point to what's causing Jinxie's out-of-control emotion. Finally tap the probe again and try to get to the heart of the matter. Okay, let's give this a try. Cat monster on a Wheel of Fire.
Got it.
Okay, this one's got it. Jinxie, what's the name for that yokai on the Wheel of Fire? That's Akasha, a yokai that steals the bodies of the recently deceased. I bet it came to steal the ultimates. It's almost creepy how well that fits the actual situation. Exactly. It's a form of hallucination where the patient can't see things for what they really are. There must be something at the scene of the crime that she's mistaken for Akasha. Apollo, you need to point out what she thought was a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. I think I know the answer now. Jinxie, that wasn't Akasha you saw. Could you have possibly mistaken this for Akasha? Take that! The light fixture. This one right here has a flame design and it's up on the ceiling. There was never a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. The Akasha you saw was just a light fixture. That's one memory back to normal. Nice job. Now that you've gotten the hang of it, it should be a cinch to point out the rest. Jinxie, what about the white wall-like monster? That's Nurikabe. It's a wall monster that blocks your way or leads you astray. That's no yokai, Jinxie. It's a folding screen. And this raccoon dog isn't a tanuki monster. It's just a statue of one. And look, these are just coffee cups. And this right here, it's nothing more than a fox statue. I don't know what I was thinking. Alright, now we're down to 50%. Good shit. You did it, Apollo. Her extreme fear is under control now.
It was all just my eyes playing tricks on me. There weren't any yokai at all.
See? A clear-cut statement. That's the power of my psychology and your intuition, Apollo. And just like we thought, there never really were any yokai in the Fox Chamber. Wait. Right, there were never any yokai there. So the defense is asserting the exact opposite of their original assertion. Wait, Jinxie, what about Temataro?
There wasn't anyone dressed up as Temataro, or any other yokai either. I remember clearly now.
You've gotta be joking! Order in the court! I think we just dug our own grave. Allow me to push you on in. It's the least I could do. No!
Apollo, can I interrupt your freak out for just a minute? I'm still picking up on some noise. It's an unexpected emotion. Does that mean Jinxie hasn't remembered everything yet?
Exactly. We should be able to get something else out of her. I'll enter the new information we have and run an update. What do we got?
Did I see Temataro in the Fox Chamber? I was so scared when I entered the room. My legs gave out and I fell to the floor. There in the Fox Chamber I saw the Alderman dead on the table and Papa collapsed in a chair. And nobody else was there, and that includes Temataro.
Wait, what am I supposed to do? Trying to find the emotions that contradict your statements.
So if I find a contradictory emotion, I should point it out.
That's right, but it's not just contradictory emotions you should look out for. You should also keep an eye out for sudden changes in emotions' intensity. Her emotions might get stronger or weaker as you move from statement to statement. It's important to compare the same emotion changes throughout the testimony.
Contradictory emotions and changes in intensity. Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Okay, so she was a little surprised, then she was very surprised. And then she was barely surprised at all. Okay. I got two. It's either the lessening surprise or the fact that no. Well, let me give it a shot. Got it! This seems like an unnatural reaction. Really? Because I don't see it that way. So it isn't unexpected given her testimony? Hello? Is there anybody in there? Just nod if you can hear me. Yes, there's someone at home, and that someone is going to try that again. Alright, what about this one then? Got it! Yeah, okay.
The amount of fear you felt is rather low despite your legs having given up from fright. Could something have lessened your fear? Actually, I did experience a sudden burst of courage at that moment.
You did? Where did it come from?
Let me think. Oh, it was Mama. I suddenly felt as if she was there with me.
Okay, I'll enter sudden burst of courage. Now, let's see.
Look!
Apollo, the noise is all gone. Jesus seems to have remembered everything now.
Sudden burst of courage. Now where could that have come from? Jinxie, was there something that gave you a sudden burst of courage? Yes, there was. But I realized that I had done something naughty when I thought about it later.
Any idea what it could have given Jinxie that courage?
Well, there is one piece of evidence that comes to mind. I wonder if she saw something like it at the scene of the crime.
Oh.
Jinxie, did your sudden burst of courage have anything to do with this?
The flower. Her, boost Jinxie's courage, and it was her mother's favorite. Take that!
Jinxie, you didn't happen to see a Ninetales flower there at the scene, did you? The demon lawyer strikes again. I can't hide anything from you. I found a small case with a picture of Ninetales flower on it. I liked it so much I kept it. You what? You can't remove evidence from a crime scene.
That's right, young lady. Removing evidence is a big no-no. Now, the witness will produce said evidence this instant.
Sorry.
It does seem to be some sort of case. Oh, look, something slid out. It appears to be a key.
I'm gonna have a look here at all this. This is none other than the master key to QB Manor.
Are you certain of this, Prosecutor Blackwell?
It matches the serial numbers of the key that went missing after the murder.
A master key? That went missing? I don't know, like the sound of that.
Fuck. I know where this is going. A little scamp here has stumbled upon an article of unimaginable consequence.
That's a little melodramatic, don't you think?
Heed these words, for I shall say them but once. So key to the Vox chamber has been in this little scamp's constant possession. Ergo, she was the sole person who could use it before, during, and after the murder. Which leaves the master key as the only other key that could have opened the chamber. But this master key was found in a room that had been locked by this girl. And your point is? Until Jinxie Tenma opened the Fox chamber with her key, the room had been locked tight from the outside world. There was no one else in there save the victim and his killer. I trust you figured it out for yourself by now. A killer other than Mayor Tenma himself would be utterly inconceivable. Oh! How could this happen?
Vince's assistant will refrain from growling her frustrations.
Athena, are you alright? I know Mayor Tenma's innocent, but there's nothing we can do. This sucks. Sykes don't know. Allow me to put you out of your misery. Can I decline your offer? Abandon your client and your misplaced faith in him. With the relief of a clear head and clean conscience comes rushing in. That will make the inevitable guilty verdict far easier to accept. Great, now he's playing Simon Says with us. Well, he's got nothing. He's not going to fool us with the stupid mind games. Athena, don't fall for his tricks. Now I'm the one who's dazed and confused. I can't even think straight. Hey, are you alright? She fell right into his trap. Now, I suggest you make a mad dash from the courtroom and into the wild blue yonder. Only by running shall your mind be cleared and your conscience cleansed. Alright, I'll be back in 10. Stay with me, Athena. Don't let yourself be twisted by that samurai. Apollo?
Mr. Justice, I heard that word objection, but what is it you object to?
Huh? Oh, right. That objection was more of a reflex than anything else. I was hoping something would come to me when I was trying to stop Athena.
Court is waiting, Mr. Justice.
Though, as it stands now, I'll be forced to declare your client guilty and your legal skills suspect if this is it. Now, do you have anything that could overturn the prosecution's case? Well, actually, I do. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Apollo? You do have something more than your cords of steel, don't you? Not really, but we'll be fine. But yeah. I've got absolutely nothing, but that's never stopped me before. I have to explain how the real killer could have escaped that locked room. Because it's all over if I don't. Apollo, this calls for a new approach. Try to think outside the box. Or in this case, inside the box. And what a doozy of a locked room is, too. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have anything that could counter the prosecutor's arguments? You bet I do. The real killer must have escaped from the locked room one way or another. Vague conjecture shall only earn you a taste of my blade, Justice Dono. Time to do or die, literally. The defense will now explain how it would be possible to escape the locked room. You sure about this, Apollo? Can you really explain what happened? I'm fine. We just need to think this whole escaping a locked room thing over from the beginning. So, let's see. If the killer had escaped, how could they have done so? The choices are pretty limited. The room has a window, but it doesn't open wide enough for anyone to get through, and there's a sheer cliff outside. As for the air vent, it's up too high, and there's nothing you could do. You could stand on to reach it. And needless to say, the forbidden chamber wouldn't open no matter what we did, so that's out. Yeah, that's why we gotta keep solutions simple. Like to say, simple is best. We need to rule out all of the absolutely impossible escape routes. Then whatever's left just might lead us to... whatever's left just might lead us to how the Fox Chamber was compromised. Your Honor, the defense proposed that these killers escaped through here. The front door? Duh. Take that! The hallway door? Well, yes, I suppose that would be the only way out. Huh. But up here, you've already forgotten. The only available key until Jinxie Tema came on the scene was within that locked room. How would one exit the Fox Chamber and lock it without a key, You should have seen this coming. Remember, Apollo, keep it simple. Simple, right. I can understand if the killer had exited the room with the key, but... Well, Mr. Justice, prosecution has some fine Japanese steel waiting unless you explain yourself quickly. I'm fine! I can explain myself. The reason the Fox Chamber's hallway door was locked was because... the perp locked it from outside? Okay, simple. Simple. If he escaped, that's the only way. What if the room was locked from the outside? In other words, the killer took the key through the hallway door, locked it out! Instead of this, the master key was found inside the tightly locked Fox Chamber, and the assertion that the key was removed from the chamber is a blatant contradiction of facts. Exiting the room before locking the door would require taking the key outside, but the key was found inside the room, which does seem like a contradiction. If only we could explain both, like how the key could be inside the room and be used to unlock the door from the outside. Well, let's see if the defense can respond before Prosecutor Blackwell draws his sword. How could the master key be at the crime scene despite the room being locked tight? Threw it in from the outside. There's that vent, which is a one-way. What if someone threw it in from the outside? You know, something like go out in the hallway door, lock the room, and then toss the key back in through the window. That would explain how the master key could be locked inside the locked room. And where would you throw it from? There's a cliff outside the Fox Chamber's window. Throwing the key from there is an impossibility. Oh, right. I wonder if the key could have been tossed in from somewhere else other than the window. Somewhere other than the window? Could the key have been tossed through somewhere other than the window? Take that! The air vent? Yes, the window may be out of the question, but the air vent's not. Oh, that's right. The Fox Chamber's air duct leads out into the hallway. That's right. The real killer entered the air duct from the vent outside the Fox Chamber. Then dropped the key into the room through the vent inside the chamber. That's preposterous. Maybe that explains how the key got in there after it was used to lock the door perfectly. Mr. Justice, I'm afraid I'm a bit confused. Don't worry. I'll explain it to you so even Your Honor can understand. First, the real killer, despite disguised as Mataro, murdered the alderman in the Fox Chamber. Then, they fled the room through the hallway door and locked it. Next, they entered the air duct from the vent outside in the hallway. Finally, the killer tossed the key into the room through the air vent in the ceiling there. All that was left to do was go back to the duct and flee the manor. Well, Your Honor, could that be any clearer? Amazing, even I could follow that. The judge seems really pleased. That explains everything. The real killer was someone dressed up like Temataro. And there was someone else other than the mayor and the alderman in that room. Looks like the... Yay! Yay, he did it! Order, 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 I say! Now that I prove a possible third party, I don't see our client could be guilty. Silence! Silence! A valiant effort, Justice Dono, but your final thrust missed its mark. Huh? Both that little scam and the tricky tanuki saw the yokai after it left the room. But then what? Did that irksome yokai simply go through the foyer and waltz out the front door? That's exactly what happens. The killer fled from the... But that's impossible without being spotted by the foyer security camera, that is. Yep. The electric eye here would have captured any pesky young yokai trying to escape. However, there's no sign of Temataro anywhere in the security footage. What? Save for the foyer entrance, there's no other way to flee the manor, is there? I don't feel so good. Hold it! Wait, I believe there is one other way to escape besides the foyer entrance. There's a large window in the foyer. It's possible to escape through there without being seen by the security camera. Hey, you're right! Silence! Silence! Huh. Must I point out every crucial detail to the defense? It seems you lack not only brains, but investigative prowess to boot. That is the cliff side of the manor. The only killer escaping that way would be a dead one. No! Wait, so the killer didn't escape out the foyer window? What the heck, right? Ha! I suppose your next proposal is the killer sprouted wings and flew off into the sunset. Actually, Simon, that is exactly what the next point is going to be. Thank you for making it so easy to point that out, you fucking idiot. That would mean the killer really was a yokai. If only we had some sort of evidence that could point to a flying killer. Who's saying we don't? As completely far-fetched as it might be. What? You're saying you can prove the killer could fly? Oh, I thought it was the one with cords of steel. Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Your Honor. What evidence do you have that the killer flew away?
Well, the special edition paper.
Take that! Take a look at this special edition paper. Temotaro, real or flight of fancy? What does this article prove, Mr. Justice? The photo in that article was taken shortly after the murder. Maybe the yokai in that photo is the killer shortly after they'd fled out the window? Mr. Justice, you're not seriously suggesting... Oh, I'm serious. I mean, it all adds up. The killer, disguised as Temotaro, flew away. You know, by some way or another.
Silence.
Silence! It is your brain that has flown the coop. That image is not but trick photography or some other form of artifice. Okay, then, how about the Temotaro figure Mr. Filch saw? It just vanished into thin air? No, there's a rational common sense explanation for that. That infernal yokai, our tricksy tanuki witness, never reached the entrance. He, or should I say she, turned back before the camera's electric eye. She? I don't like where this is going one bit. Now, the fact that we know the yokai had come from the Fox Chamber means that it was likely either Mayor Damien Tenma or his daughter. It was likely either Mayor Damien Tenma or his daughter Jinxie Tenma. However, we know that Mayor Tenma was already unconscious at that time. Not good. Not good at all. Do you understand the gravity of the situation now, Justice Dono? The falsified yokai remnants and the appearance of the Temotaro were the work of one individual. And that individual is none other than Jinxie Tenma. No! Order! Order! The fence will stop competing for the greatest freakout ever! The little scamp was, no doubt, simply trying to protect her father. And it's no wonder that her superstitious mind conjured up this mad masquerade. Prosecutor Blackwell's assertion makes perfect sense to me. It's far more convincing than saying that the killer escaped by flying out the window. Did you truly believe this could end any other way? Did we fall right into his trap? What do we do now, Apollo? Our case no longer stands without a real yokai, if we had one. Bailiff, seize her. It is time I interrogated her as the same samurai of yore would. Hold it. Mayor Tenma! This farce is over. How does it feel seeing your own daughter accused of a cover-up most foul? Tenmataro's true identities. Now, no, Mr. Mayor. It would be futile at this point to claim you were the yokai. After all, you had been knocked out cold by a blow to the skull. Stepping into a yokai costume and roaming about the manor would be all but impossible. Consider this well. As it stands, your daughter will be arrested for obstruction of justice. But if you confess, the prosecution would be willing to overlook her little yokai farce. Confess? The defendant intends to confess? Wait! Apollo! Prosecutor Blackwell's up to his mind games again. Mayor Tenma, no! Don't fall for his twisted words! If you're sent away for murder, Jinxie will be left all alone. The real killer is... Mayor Tenma's going to confess it unless we do something. But I can't prove how the real killer could have flown away.
Caw, 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 caw. Look upon me in despair, for ripe is the time of my return.
Huh? Uh-oh, I should watch what I wish for.
Foolish mortals. I am Tenmataro, the yokai you seek.
Mayor Tenma?
Silence! I am Tenmataro, freed from the bonds binding me to the Forbidden Chamber. Behold, the return of the Demon King.
What the? Demon King?
Oh, then I think it's time for me to take a vacation. The witness will, he will explain himself. You're saying you're Tenmataro, the yokai we've been chasing this whole time. Indeed, it is I, Tenmataro, the one who you seek, come to reveal the truth. This child is Tenmataro. This child is Tenmataro, you say? Ha! What nonsense!
So Mayor Tenma is a yokai now.
Caw, 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 caw. His body is now mine. So you're saying that Mr. Mayor Tenma is being possessed by you? And that the yokai and Jinxie Tenma and Phineas Filch saw, and the one captured in the newspaper photo, those were all you. Because the power of these warning charms prevented me from revealing my true form.
Your baldness. Can this not be interpreted as an admission of guilt?
Well, a confession by a yokai would be quite unprecedented.
Be that as it may, the defendant's case has been overturned.
Huh? What?
Claim the yokai that little scamp saw was some third party, the true killer. The one who escaped from the locked fox chamber, but it was the accused all along.
Ugh!
Ironic, is it not? Your yokai turned out to be real in a manner of speaking. For the ultimate killer is none other than Mayor Tenma. And the yokai at the scene? That too was Mayor Tenma, or should I say, our dear Tenmataro. The pieces all falling into place. How so, Prosecutor Blackwell? Huh, it seems I must spell it out for you. The Mayor Tenma was killed the Ultimate in the Fox Chamber, which was locked at the time. He then removed the warning charms from the Forbidden Chamber's door, but then fell unconscious from the blow the Ultimate had delivered to his head. That's when his daughter Jinxie Tenma stumbled upon the scene of the crime. The little scamp fled in terror, whereupon the spirit of Tenmataro, freed at last from the charm's warden effect, took possession of the mayor. The newly freed Tenmataro then fled from the Fox Chamber. So you see, the yokai Jinxie Tenma saw was her father possessed by Tenmataro. Objection! But when we arrived, this mayor was on the scene. The mayor was found unconscious. How's that possible if he was supposed to have flown out of the foyer window? Then what? Do you mean to say the maid of QB Manor, Jinxie Tenma, was Tenmataro? Oh. Ugh.
Hold it. Caw, 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 caw. That too is easy to explain. Flew about for a time I did, but presently tired, I made for the Forbidden Chamber. But alas, exhaustion took me unawares in the Fox Chamber, and I knew no more.
It seems the pieces are still in place. Is Blackwell up to his tricks again?
I don't know what to say. Is the defendant a real live?
Well, this is getting hairy.
Order! Order!
Now he's got everyone in the courtroom believing in yokai. Simon says on steroids. He wants to convict our client any way he can, even if it means blaming a yokai. The proverbial ducks are all in a row. You should now have no qualms about finding the accused guilty of your baldness. This is one of the most bizarre cases in my entire career. Otherworldly, in fact. Can yokai even be prosecuted under our legal system?
Objection!
Objection! Mayor Tenma is just pretending to be Tenmataro to protect his daughter. Plus, I already proved how a third party could have escaped from the locked room. A verdict at this point would be premature. Both sides have raised valid points, have no choice but to—
Silence!
Silence! Huh. This dark age of the law. This is the dark age of the law, where defense attorneys are not to be trusted. This is but a ploy to gain time for them to fabricate evidence. How will I sleep tonight? Knowing you will not let the sun rise on the mayor's day of— Fuck! What? Fuck. The 3DS died. I gotta do that shit all over again. Well, I guess that marks the end of this episode. Well, what a great ending to this session. Alright. Well, I guess I'll play back up, and in the next episode we'll continue from where we left off. Damn it, right at the fucking climax too. We might rewind a little bit. Well, I guess thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later.